Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Everyone, take a deep breath. You survived spring 2020, hashtag quarantine semester. And I'm sure it is an amazing relief to have all those finals and all the coursework behind you. So kudos and virtual applause to all of you for surviving what will go down in history as the craziest semester in GSU history. You did it, and we are so proud of you. And proud that you have decided to come back and stay engaged. Hopefully, you took a couple of days to get some R&R and relax your mind and regroup and get your thoughts together and decided to join us today. Because, as I mentioned in the newsletter, the grind just doesn't stop, not for entrepreneurs, not now, not ever. So, thank you for joining us today. We are planning to have programming throughout the summer, so please stay engaged with Launch GSU. On the screen now, you see one of the other programs that's going to be coming up later in the month, How to Leverage Social Media in a Time of Chaos. That event is being sponsored by E&I. Registration information is where you always find it, calendar.gsu.edu/launch GSU. Starting in June, we will be accepting membership. We will have our summer membership campaign that kicks off June 1st through July 15th. Yes, I realize launch, the physical space is not open now, but again, we still have to operate with the mindset that launch will be reopened again one day very, very soon. So we want to make sure that those who are interested in utilizing the space, we can go ahead and get the logistics taken care of now. Encourage anyone that you know who might be interested in becoming a member of Launch to go ahead and apply beginning on June 1st. The application will be on the front page of our website. You won't be able to miss it. So thank you so much. You are here today, and I am super, super excited. We had the pleasure of having Deetra join us last month for one of our Panthropreneur panel discussions. Again, when we all went into quarantine, the first thing that I heard from many of the members were, we just have questions. We have questions. We want to know what we should be doing right now. How can we remain productive? What is the best thing that we should be doing for our business, for our startup? I don't even have a business yet. What should I be doing to try to build my startup? And Deetra was kind enough to share her time, her talent, and her resources with us on the panel discussion. And then after the panel, she hit me up and said, hey, why don't we do, how would you feel? Not we, because by we, she meant she, and said, how would you feel if I offered a 4-week course for your students? Things are changing for them. They haven't even gotten their business started yet. And now the world has just pivoted completely from under their feet. How would you feel if I offered them some sessions on how to take their business online? Many of them may are probably service-based businesses that really need to shift, and doing business electronically and doing business virtually, it takes a certain skill set to do that effectively and efficiently. And I don't want the students to get started off on the wrong foot. This is an area that she coaches in on a regular basis and wanted to gift her time and talents to the Georgia State community. And for that, we are incredibly, incredibly grateful. Out of that conversation, she said, sure, 4 weeks, hour and a half. I've got amazing content. We're going to talk about, basically the basics of online business 101. Most importantly, again, delivering business virtually and taking your business online are two different things. What do they need to know to deliver excellence in their business? And of course, the bottom line of any successful relationship, communication. Spend some time talking about communication and how you can communicate with those customers to make sure that they stay engaged and understand and receive the best and the greatest value that you have. So, out of that, we have the 4-part series, Taking Your Business Online. This series takes place on the next 3 consecutive Wednesdays. At this time, 1:15 to 2:45, we ask that you do register for each of the sessions, please, you guys have access to the link. So please go ahead and do that for me. And I'm so excited and thankful that Deidre had the time. This is the, again, I mentioned it before. This is one of the few silver linings of Corona is that Deidre's schedule is available, that she's able to be here and join us today. So I keep talking about Deidre, but let me properly introduce our guest for today. Miss Deetra U. Giles received her undergraduate from Mercer University, where she has returned and was recently the recipient of the Excellence in Teaching Award as Faculty of the Year. She received her master's and MBA from Kennesaw State University. Deetra is an international consultant, a best-selling author, and highly sought-after keynote speaker. Y'all, when I say were it not for Corona, she would not be here today. She would. What country would you be in today?
I will be in
And where?
Kenya.
In Kenya. And she's here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I know you're going to get that trip in eventually. Speaking of Kenya, Deetra has been traveling the world for the past 13 years as the founder and chief bridge architect of ExecuPrep, a global brand that provides coaching, leadership development, and performance improvement in the workplace. He has worked across multiple industries with hundreds of clients and thousands of leaders worldwide. Deetra has been featured as a keynote speaker for a few small organizations that you guys may have heard of, such as the Centers for Disease Control, the Army Corps of Engineers, and the Salvation Army, which have yielded impeccable results. She uses her formal business education and years of experience, including over 8 years as a director in HR at Georgia State University, to motivate, empower, and celebrate her clients as they achieve their desired outcomes. Mrs. Giles is the author of Unstuck, discovering career limiting activities, and the soon to be released book, Breaking Good Habits, and many other featured articles. She is a two-time TEDx speaker, the first one being Employeepreneur, which happens to be my favorite topic in the world, and her second TEDx, Taboo Topics at Work, which you can find both of those on her website at dietrichgiles.org. Without further ado, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to our keynote speaker for today and for the series Taking Your Business Online, Miss Deetra Giles.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So here's what I want you all to do for me. Really quickly, I want everyone to type in the chat. I want to hear about you, your business, what you really came to learn, and what you're hoping that I will teach you. One of the things that you will learn about me is that I believe that this process is an interactive process. And so while I am the keynote and the speaker, the learning happens out there with you and not here with me. So if you engage and talk and we converse, we will have a wonderful time. Because what I really believe is that learning happens when a change in behavior occurs. If there was no change in behavior, we had a really good conversation, we had fun, we had some dialogue, but you didn't really learn anything. So this is really about having a change in behavior that truly impacts you. Now, Erica, if it's possible for you to allow me to share my screen.
Yes,
um,
ma'am. You should. I stopped sharing, so you should. Oh, here we go. You should be able to share now.
yep, I see it coming over.
Awesome.
Awesomeness. So I am going to share my screen so you all can see really quickly. But it's still, I kind of want you typing and letting you know what's going on. So when this all came about, I can tell you I was inundated with phone calls. And it's funny, if you were on a little bit earlier, you kind of heard Erica and I dialoguing about what is this rest time that everyone's talking about, because I had clients do one of two things. They were either in panic mode or they were in pivot mode, and in either instance they were pulling on me to connect. And I hit up Erica and said, hey, I'm home. She's right, because normally people ask me where do I live, and I tell them I live in Hartsfield Jackson Airport. That's my permanent residence. They just will not allow me to receive mail there, so I have to give a different mailing address. but I am typically on a plane somewhere, and I was literally supposed to have a speaking engagement in Nairobi, and of course that was canceled because of everything. But while I'm here, I think it's important to pour back into the community that I came from. And as Erica told you, I was director of HR at Georgia State University, and I said, hey, I know you're doing a great thing with these students, and they typically won't have the resources to hire someone like me. So let's do this. Let's give them something that they can use, and while they're sitting still and working on their business, let's help them in the upfront. And so I want to give you the tools to pivot and not panic, especially as you're getting your business started or you're at the beginning stages. And so Erica already went through all this stuff for you, so you don't need to hear all of this stuff. But here's a question I want to ask you, and we'll come back to this later. Are these two people the same woman? I want you thinking about that question as we move forward. You're looking at two images and they look very different, but are these the same person? So, what I'm going to tell you is as we go through this, I want to go through this pretty at a nice pace, not too quickly, not too slowly, but I really want to give you time at the end to ask questions because this is really about you. But what I also want you to know is that this is a series. So, you ever seen one of those books where you're flipping through it and then there's this blank page, and then on the page it says this page was left blank on purpose, and you're like, I'm sure I already knew that. So I want to say this slide was left blank on purpose. This is about you. You can either take advantage or you can let it slide. But this time that you have, this time that everybody's going crazy over, we want it to be over quickly, don't miss the opportunity to learn in this phase. Because what happens is, especially when we get a lot of business learning, some of the foundational things we gloss over. Oh, I don't want to hear any more things about mission, vision, and values. I don't want to hear about that. But when the rubber meets the road, people are falling back on those items that they kind of poo-pooed and pushed out of the way. And so I don't want you to miss that. So back to our regularly scheduled programming. This is your course. I am going to share through Erica my contact information, which means you'll have my email, you'll have a way to reach out to me, you'll have my social media platforms, you'll have my LinkedIn profile. You are welcome to contact me. Don't abuse it, but you're more than welcome to reach out to me, and that's for you. So if your friend that wish they had come to the course and you're like, oh my gosh, this course was amazing, you should call her. Listen, it's like a family member and someone asks, can I have their phone number? You know, you have that friend that's really, really cute and everybody likes that friend, and they come to you like, look, can I have your friend's phone number? And you're like, I don't know if I should do that. Think about this the very same way. You were here. You have access to me. They did not sign up. They don't. So this is your course. Take full advantage of it and take full advantage of what's being offered to you. So why this and why now? Here is what you have the luxury of having. Right now, you have the luxury of planning and making a part of your business plan something that most people had never considered. So you walk into your business plan knowing what the possibilities are, knowing that there is a possibility that you won't be able to touch your client face to face, that you won't be able to service them in the traditional format, that you won't be able to provide services in the old normal. That is a luxury that many of your counterparts who are well established and are struggling right now did not and do not have. So you have the luxury of being proactive in your business to say, you know what? I'm already creating and pivoting my business plan for what the new normal is going to be. So that's why this is so important to do right now. Let's talk about what's going to happen in this series. This is a series, as Erica told you. We're going to cover today Online 101. Then we want to talk about online excellence, which will be next week. How do you give your service in this online platform while still providing it in a way that your customers and clients can appreciate and feel like they're still getting the same value? Because guess what you don't want to do? You're not trying to adjust your price. When someone reaches out to me right now, I've had a few people reach out and they say, Deetra, we want you to do a keynote speech, and what's your fee? It's the same as it's always been. Because guess what? I'm going to deliver the same excellence virtually that I would deliver face to face. You're going to get the same energy, like the energy you feel me giving you right now. It would be the same energy were I there. That is going to translate. And so, in that online excellence, we want to make sure that we discuss how your services translate from face to face to a virtual platform. Then you want to make sure you have that online communication with your internal as well as external. And lastly, and crazily, they're going to be project presentations. Remember, I told you my philosophy is learning happens when a change in behavior occurs. Well, by the end of this series, if you're here for all four series, you will end with a full on plan to have your business pivot from a face to face to either a hybrid where you're doing both face to face and virtual, or a solely virtual platform. And so by the project presentations, you will have a full on plan. But today, what will you learn? So today we want to start off with talking about your client avatar. That means who is your client? What do they look like? Where are they? And then attraction and conversion. How do you go from contacts to contracts? Social media platforms and presence. And then lastly, homework. I know homework scares you because you're thinking, oh my gosh, I just left these crazy faculty who gave me all this work and I was supposed to get a break, and here she comes on this May Master platform where we're supposed to be chilling and just getting great information talking about homework. It's good homework. This is homework to help you build your plan because I literally want to see you by the end of these four sessions with a plan that you can take and put into action. One of the things Erica didn't tell you is what people call me, my clients jokingly say, is you are university tested and industry approved, which means I have all the education, nerdy, geeky, faculty, white paper stuff, but I also have to put it into action. I am a person of action. The theory is wonderful, but I could give a rat's patootie about the theory if you don't do anything. My major question is not what do you know, it's what are you going to do? And so that homework gets us there. So I asked you a little while ago, are these the same women? Are these two women the same women? And I want to see what you all are saying. Really quickly type in the chat for me. What are you all saying? Are these the same women? So I'm going to put it back. Sorry. Are these the same women? You look at them and they look different and they maybe kind of favor a little bit. Maybe they're a little bit similar. But are these the same women? And more importantly, why is that question important? So here's what I want you thinking about. Are these the same women is very important to your client avatar. And I love what Lisa said, they may be the same, we don't know. That question is so important to your client avatar. What is your client avatar? An avatar is simply an image. It's a visual of a person. If you are an online gamer or if you have created a profile somewhere and they make you put together these little pictures, these box pictures you see up here, and these little features they have, their typical features, and you may say the skin is this person, the hair looks this way. We've even created these almost meme like avatars on our phone. So if you see someone send you this cartoon looking picture of themselves, it doesn't quite look exactly like them, but you can look at the picture and say, that's, yeah, I know that's supposed to be them. That's an avatar. Every single business must, to be successful, they must have a client avatar. Let me tell you why this is so important at this moment. Many businesses are struggling because they didn't have a client avatar, especially service based businesses. Why are they struggling without a client avatar? Because when you know precisely what your client avatar is, you know where to go and reach that person. Because just because you can't meet them face to face does not mean they're not operating. As Erica told you, right now, we're still busy. We're still doing things. Your ideal client didn't just fall off the face of the earth because coronavirus is a pandemic. They're at home, they're online somewhere, they're on social media somewhere. They're shopping somewhere. They're looking for the service or business somewhere. Because guess what? I walk outside and I see an Amazon Prime truck going by every single day. Packages are still being delivered. Every single day, something is happening, right? And so your client avatar is so important and needs to be precise because that tells you where that person is. So when I showed you that picture of the two people, I'm going to go back to it really quickly. Let's say, for example, both of these women, they're not the same woman. So to answer your question, someone's like, well, is she going to tell us whether they're the same person or not? They're not the same person. But let me tell you what they are. These are two African American women. They're both in their 40s. They're both married. They both care about their health. If you are a person that is offering say you're opening a gym, you want to be a personal trainer, and you have these two, are you marketing? Are these the same avatar? Do you find these two people in the same place? The answer is probably not, because one person is clearly a fitness model and one person may be beginning their fitness journey. One person already has a good idea of how this whole fitness, diet, all this thing works, and one person may just be getting a grasp of this idea. If you don't recognize which one of these is your client, you will miss both of them. And that is so important. So, this one person may be in Facebook groups around fitness models, around particular types of eating. And this other person may be in new to workout places. But if you put the wrong efforts into the wrong location, you'll miss your ideal client. As my grandma would say, if you chase two birds, you don't catch either one of them, right? It's important that you know who your avatar is because that tells you where to go looking for those people, right? Now, here's what I want you to talk about. When you think about who your ideal person is, where they are, where they're going, what they're doing, how they act, what they're doing in this time period, because here's the deal, when you go back to those two people, you're the trainer. What equipment? So now I'm a personal trainer and I identify which one is my avatar. Well, if I don't know which one is my avatar, I might not know what equipment they need or what equipment they have. One of them probably has a pretty substantive workout situation at home. One of them probably has some bands, some weights. They probably have a weight bench. They probably have all the tools they need to follow along with this extensive workout program. And one person may have to order everything. So you may have to craft what you're marketing to them to say, hey, I want to show you a workout plan that doesn't require any additional equipment, right? Completely different ideas, even though they may look the same. And that's why getting that avatar down to a science is important. Now, here's what happens. Most of us gloss over this and we say, my client avatar is women between the ages of 30 and 55. Really? Do you think a 30-year-old and a 55-year-old are looking at the same items? Do you think a 30-year-old and a 55-year-old are using the same social media platforms? Ask a 55-year-old about TikTok. They will look at you like a tick, what? You mean like what the clock does? So that helps you understand. Now, when you think about your client avatar, it makes it easy to go to this website. Now, we will often think of websites as this magical thing where people go to learn all about us. Ooh, my website is going to give you all this stuff about me. That could not be further from the truth. When you think about your website is about two things. It's about attraction and conversion. So let's talk about the attraction component of your website. Your website is there to say, I want to draw you to me. Guess what? Think about it as in a relationship. Are you drawn to someone simply because they tell you about themselves? No. If we are in a relationship and we go out on a date, think about your last first date, and if that person spent the whole time talking about themselves, what does that make them? What do you think about them? How do you feel about them? Oh, you're self-absorbed, you're self-consumed. I don't want to just talk about you on the first date. Talk about what synergies do we have? How do we work together? Don't you want to know something about me? Don't you care about how I feel, what I want, what I think about? What do I like to do? Well, think about your website as the first date. If I get to your website and all I hear is about you and I see nothing about me, then I I get that self-absorbed feeling. I don't feel like you're there for me. Attraction of your website is about knowing your avatar, knowing what they need, and speaking to you as a solution for that need. How do I solve your issue? Because they're coming to you to fill a gap. And your question is, let me fill that gap for you. So your attraction piece is this is about you. My website is not about just spilling out my guts about everything I have available. It's about saying, here's what I have that fills your gap. If I haven't done the first part, and that's why these foundational pieces are so important. If I haven't done the first part of creating my client avatar, then I don't even know what the gap is for you. I don't even know. I'm going to keep using that example because I hate to jump from example to example. So I'm going to keep using the example of the fitness person or the personal trainer to talk about this. So if I don't know that my avatar, my ideal person doesn't have the workout equipment, my website will talk about stuff that they don't have and can't use. My website will talk about and speak at a level that they aren't even at. So think about those pictures. One person probably knows the body parts and how those things are connected, and we're working the abductors versus the flexors, and this other person's thinking we're working the what I'm sorry, what? Now if I know my avatar, I say the things that are attracted to them. I also produce images that are attracting to them. So one person, one of those avatars that we saw, one client base that we saw would love to go to a website of a personal trainer that shows before and after pictures, right? The other person probably wants to see more of expertise. I want to see these fine-tuned machines as they are because I'm already an after picture. I want to see the next level for me. I want to see fitness models. I want to see people winning championships. I want to see X, Y, and Z. So that attraction piece. Now, attraction without conversion is moot. If I attract you to my website and I don't convert you to a client, I have wasted everybody's time. Remember, I said learning happens when a change in behavior occurs. So I want there to be a change in behavior. Now, here is where this pivoting your business comes into play. So you were used to being face to face, and now you're saying, Deetra, I can no longer speak to my client avatar because I was a hands on trainer. Now is where your website has to convert. You need to speak to your ability to do the same thing for me online as you could do face to face. That's where the conversion piece of your website allows you to pivot. So you're not going to convert me if you can't convince me. So, for example, one of the things that I have been doing with some of my clients is saying, especially speak conferences, I've been giving them on my website, they can go and see me speaking and doing virtual seminars, doing virtual classes. Because what do they need to know? They need to be convinced via my website that I can fill their gap. Hey, we still need to get speakers that can attract our ideal people for this conference. And many people feel a speaker can't be energetic virtually. A speaker can't do this virtually. And so I need to give them snippets where I can convert them from a contact. I know my avatar, give them snippets to say, yes, I can. I can be energetic face to face, hands on, but here are snippets demonstrating that I can also be interactive and engaging and energetic on a virtual platform. That's how you begin to do that conversion. That's where you begin to pivot. Now, back up from your client, you have to know what you can offer. You have to know what you can do. You have to be able to sit down and look at your business and say, what can I do virtually? Here's another example I use, and I worked with a client on this one. So someone said to me, Deetra, how am I going to do this? I offer a cleaning service. I offer a cleaning service, and I can't go and clean someone's house virtually. How can I pivot? Here's what you can do. You can offer organization services, right? Because now that everybody's at home, they're now thinking, you know what, I need to get this daggone house cleaned up. Even last week, I took my office. I was telling Erica, I completely rearranged my office. I cleaned up, it was an absolute mess. And I needed help. And guess what I did? I got on the phone or got on a virtual conference call, a Zoom call with a person that normally will come in, and she said, I'll help you organize. And she thought about, how can I pivot? How can I convert contacts to contracts? Hey, people, a lot of people don't know how to clean because they don't really know where things should go. They're not good at organizing. I am. I can actually help them organize their office. So converting those contracts to contracts. Now, let's think about this. When you know who your avatar is, not only are you able to set up a sound website for them, but you're also able to succinctly identify where they are on social media. Remember, I told you these people they haven't stopped looking for services. They haven't stopped needing what you provide just because COVID-19 hit. They still need what you're offering. What they're looking for you to do is to say, hey, I'm still offering it. You don't know how many people don't recognize I can still get X, or I can still get Y. I can still get therapy. I can still get counseling. I can still get organizing services. I can still get coaching. I can still get all of these things that I needed before. They're just waiting for you to tell them I'm still offering those services in a different platform. Why aren't you telling them? Because you haven't identified your avatar, so you don't know where they are. So if your ideal client, your client avatar is a professional in the work world who is currently networking professionally and trying to expand their professional network, guess where they're not? They're not on Facebook. They're probably on LinkedIn. If your client is between the ages of, let's say, 18 and 23, right now, you need to be on TikTok, right? So, knowing your client avatar completely allows you to know exactly where that person is going to be so you can go to that platform. So if someone came to me and said, Teacher, I should be running Facebook ads right now. And I told them, no, you shouldn't. And what they were saying to me is, I have no idea what my client avatar is, so I'm just shooting in the wind. Knowing where they are on social media is vitally important. So if you know my client, my ideal person, once I've developed that avatar, they're on LinkedIn, I can go to that platform and engage and post, because if you're going to be effective on social media, you need to be effective. Efficacy equals activity. You can't post once a day, once a week, and think you're going to engage your client. You can't go in and just hit them up. One of the things I hate on LinkedIn is someone connects with me, and within 5 minutes of the connection, they're already sending me something that they want me to buy or sell, or a service they want me to start taking part in on in my comment in the messaging. That's not effective. They haven't built a relationship. And so knowing where your person is the opportunity for you to go in and build a relationship. Here's the thing that social media has allowed us to do. Social media has allowed us to legally and unashamedly and judgmentally stalk people. It has made stalking acceptable. I can virtually find out anything. I can find out what the last book you ordered, what book you're reading, what you ate for lunch, what your email address. I can find out just about everything I need to know about you to make you my client on the right platform, right? And so when you find out where they are now, hey, guess what? I used to go come into your home and clean your home, but now I'm offering organization services. If you jump on a Zoom call with me, I'll tell you exactly what images to take of your room, send them to me. I'll develop a plan. We'll jump on a Zoom call or a web conference, and we will organize your room together. Mind blown. I didn't know we could do that. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could tell me that. I'm a stylist. Oh, I used to come into your closet and pick out clothes. Now I'm going to develop a platform where I'll tell you exactly what images to take. You send them to me. I will cut and paste, and I'll send you a whole new wardrobe. You with me? Erica is a part of a makeup series. I do a series called A Book and a Beat, where I teach people how to. I don't teach, that's a lie. I hire a makeup artist to come in, and that makeup artist teaches people how to do their makeup. And afterwards, we discuss a movie or a book. And before that was a face to face session. Guess what? I know who my ideal client I have it written out. She is this race, this age, this marital status, this religion. She lives in this area and she has this income. Very specific. Guess what? Everyone in that avatar is currently doing conference calls. These people are probably not being furloughed because their work is considered essential in their organization. And so her concern right now is, I have to get on these conference calls looking a hot mess. And that is not okay for me. No one's giving makeup classes right now. Oh, but they are, because I know who you are. I know where you are. I know where to send this information because I know my avatar. So knowing who they are tells you exactly where they are in social media, and then it tells you how to pivot them from a face-to-face service to a virtual service. How do I now begin to serve you? And so using that same example for my session, A Book and a Beat, I realized this person, because these are pretty much makeup novice, they are not going to feel good about a makeup class that's the whole face at once. So what did I do to pivot to say, how do I serve this client from a face-to-face client to a virtual client? This client will probably feel a lot better if we broke it down into sections. So one day we learn how to do the eyebrows. The next day we learn how to do eyeshadow. The next day, we learn how to do foundation, right? Because that's what this client will want. Being able to back up and ask the question, how do I serve my client in a way that they can receive my service in a virtual platform? This takes planning on your part. Thank you, Neil. I hope so. I want to make sure you're getting good information. Now, networking socially. Listen to me, and listen to me well And listen to me carefully. People do, everyone wants to buy, no one wants to be sold. Everyone. We love to shop. We don't want you to sell us anything. We love to shop. I told you Amazon has not stopped running. When I tell today, now I get to come face to face with my Amazon delivery guy. And we can have a conversation about how many times I have told him where to put those packages so my husband would not find them. And now I am home to meet you face to face, and I want to know why you have not followed my instructions, right? But here's what Amazon does well. They don't sell us anything. They allow us to buy. They convince us to buy. Why? Because they know their avatar. They know who they're selling to. Networking socially is about building a relationship. I want to see you posting things about what you can provide. Here's a deal. Do little snippets. Do little videos about the services you provide. Make them free. Give me a little bit of information. Don't sell the whole kit and caboodle, just enough to let me know. So when I go back, I know, right, Eric? I have a box too, so I'm trying to get home downstairs before my husband comes back. But anyway, but when I started the A Book and a Beat series, I just did a little snippet. Hey, here's an eyeshadow class, an eyebrow class for only $5. Oh, here's a little video for free. And then people thought, wait a minute, that video actually taught me something. Are you telling me I could? One, I did a conference, and the conference organizer asked something. I said, hey, look, I'll do this small conference for you. I'll do the conference for free if you allow me to use the audio and video from this session so I can show people, hey, I can still translate as a dynamic and energetic speaker even though I'm not there. Sure. What did I do with that content? I put it out there virtually. And so people could say, oh, wait a minute, you can translate. Let's talk. That's what you want. You want to network socially because by putting that information out there free of charge, I'm building a relationship. I'm building a platform that says, hey, I am here to help you. Now, here's the truth. I am here to help. So for that conference I did for free, it was a nonprofit organization. It was an organization that I would have probably given a significant break in my speaker's fee anyway. And now, hey, we can be mutually beneficial. I was going to give you a good break anyway. If we had done that conference face to face, I probably would have said, hey, cover my expenses. Here's the small fee because it was a population I'm very passionate about. I'm not going to charge my traditional fee. Now we both benefit. And now my clients, potential clients benefit also because in that session, I still gave valuable information that my clients and potential clients can still use, right? But I'm building a relationship and a reputation and brand as someone who is helpful. I can help you virtually, even though I am a service based business. I want to watch my time. Ooh, getting close to my time. So we talk about the homework. Here is what I want you to do, and then I'm going to come off of here so I can see your comments, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask questions, and you can do that verbally as well without talking in the chat. So the number one thing I want you to do, number one, create a virtual client avatar. I want a picture. And here's what people are often afraid of. Don't be afraid to narrow it down. As entrepreneurs, especially as new entrepreneurs, I've had my business since 2007. So I've been in the game for a very long time. But entrepreneurship is always evolving. And so there are, when I release a new product, I'm actually working on an online product right now for my employeepreneurs, as Erica was talking about. And so every time something new comes out, we have a new experience. We're not starting over, but we still have that new experience. So it's always fresh. But I remember what it was like at the very beginning. I was so afraid to narrow down my avatar because I was scared I might miss someone. Like, here's the thing. I promise y'all, as Erica told you all, so I'm going to use some improper English. So I'm going to preface this by saying I have 3 college degrees, so I do speak proper English, and one of them is in English. So I promise you, I know proper English. But at the very beginning, I said I want everybody's money. Everybody. Like, if I narrow it down, what in my mind, what I was saying was I'm eliminating the money of other people. But that could not be further from the truth. Your client online, your virtual client, has a very narrow focus. They're not looking everywhere. And if you don't narrow it down, you're going to be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere, instead of focusing your attention to the place where you can optimize your efforts. When you narrow it down, you are increasing your ability to attract your ideal client who will pay what you want them to pay for your virtual service. And so, this client avatar is so important because when you narrow it down, you know exactly where to go to get them. Right? So I not only do I want you to create it, I want an actual picture. So next time, come with your picture of your avatar. Number two, once you go kind of narrow that down, I want you to tell me, where is their preferred social media platform? Where are they hanging out? Where are they posting? Where are they spending most of their time? Even down to, like, you can even do research to tell you what's the best time for you to be active on that platform. For example, many of my clients are on LinkedIn. I know the best time for me to be active on LinkedIn as it relates to my client avatar is about 11 a.m. Between 11 and 11:45 a.m. is the ideal time for me to be on LinkedIn. And because I know my clients well enough, I do have a nice chunk of my clients for certain things, depending on what thing. For example, so for executive prep and employeepreneur, that ideal client is on LinkedIn, right? But for a book and a beat, that ideal client is on Facebook and Instagram. And even though they are professionals, they are not looking for makeup services on LinkedIn. They know that's going to be more of a hey, girlfriend platform. So they're going to be on Instagram and Facebook. And you know what? They're going to be on Facebook between the hours of 9 a.m. and 10:15. And they're going to be on again at around 1:15 to 1:45, I think. But they're going to be on Instagram between 11:45 and 12:45, right? So when you know that avatar, so guess when all of my social media posts hit? Duh. It's going to hit around that time because I know that's my time to convince them that I can teach them how to do their makeup on a virtual platform. Now, the last thing is, we often think we are the first and only ones to the game. Y'all, no, you're not. You, unless you have a patent pending and an invention, which some of you probably have, and that is amazing. And if you do, this is a great time for you to pivot so you can now find investors online. When I tell you my husband has an invention, it's called the cereal sipper. We're so excited about it. And we literally, because I do this stuff, because I know how to find these people, I know who we literally have an investor avatar. My husband says, "Are you crazy? Really? I got to do an avatar for investors?" Heck yeah. Because I need to know specifically where the investors are. Because we've done this, I know where they are. We've connected with a great investor. We're already talking to them. And he's saying, what can we do virtually to move this product forward? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked because this is what I do. Right? So even if you do have an invention and you're thinking, how do I move my invention now in this virtual space using the same tools? Your investors want to know that you can move this product virtually without having to have these normal platforms, right? So If you do have a service-based business, find an online business that serves your audience. And it does not have to be in the same industry. In this situation, just think of who your avatar is that serves that same audience. So, for example, I know for a book and a beat, Sephora serves the same audience. They're selling makeup and I'm selling makeup services, but they serve my audience. So, where are your platforms? I now follow Sephora because I want to know, when does Sephora post on Instagram and Facebook? Where are their makeup ads showing up? What are they saying? What are their hashtags? How are they convincing people? What are their current ads looking like? Because Sephora was all about the experience. You have these big makeup counters with lights and makeup artists, and you come in, you can touch, you can feel, you can see, I can apply it. How are you pivoting? What are you now telling your client to let them know that, hey, you should still be shopping at Sephora and we can still offer the same services but virtually? And that gives me an idea when, where, and how to pivot so that I can keep attracting my clients to my service based business, right? So, those are the three things you have for your homework. Again, listen to me and hear me carefully and hear me well. Doing this homework is important. I told you I'm university tested and industry approved. So while I present to you as in we're just having a conversation, come on in, honey, let's sit down with your auntie and talk. Everything I tell you to do is founded in theory and research. My goal as an instructor, I'm a professor, I'm an instructor, but I am that non traditional professor. I believe that if you can't teach it simply, you probably don't know it well. So I speak and I talk to you in ways that seem like this is attainable, I can digest this, but I don't want you to miss that the things I'm telling you to do are founded in theory, founded in practice, and based on results. I'm a results, action, and results driven person. So these are the foundations of your plan to take your service business from a face to face to either a hybrid or a completely virtual platform. And some of you may realize this is the key to the freedom you truly want. Because you thought service, oh, I'm running from here to there, I got to see these people. And now you're being forced to figure out a way to not have to see these people. And what you realize is, I don't even really like people. This is a wonderful thing for me. I can do you Are you telling me I can have a successful business and not have to see these people? I didn't like hugging anyway. I didn't like shaking your hand anyway. I was already a germaphobe. What you didn't know was out behind the scenes, I was monk. As soon as you shake my hand, I get some anti-disinfectant and I wash my hands, right? So this is your opportunity. So do this homework. We will give homework next week. And what will happen is, as you begin to do this homework, this is building the framework for your plan to take your service based business to either a hybrid or a completely virtual business. So that's the homework. Now I'm going to come off of here so I can see what you are telling me. So now's a great time for you to ask your questions. Um, I see all the comments you all have. I'm coming off. I'm going to take this down so I can fully see the chat. There we go. And I want you all to ask questions, and I encourage you to come off of mute and ask the question out loud and not just inside of the chat, because it's important for me to hear your voice so that when you call and say, "Did you remember me?" I can say, "Yes, I do remember you. How may I help? I did say I would help. What can I do for you?" So now go ahead and start either typing or asking your questions, but I encourage you to come off of chat and ask your questions verbally.
All I need is for everyone, if you're interested in asking a question, yes, if just raise your hand, and I can take you off mute so we don't have 10 people talking at the same time. All right, Janella was first. Hold on. Okay, Janella, you are first, and then we will come to Jerome.
Like that, I'm gonna eat
Janella?
it. Roll it up.
Hey,
Roll it
Janelle,
up.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Roll it up like this.
Hi, teacher.
I need a burrito.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for your time. This was honestly awesome. The question that I have is that I I currently have a fashion sewing business, and we have pivoted online. Um, but
You
the
put wrench.
the
Put wrench, you
challenge.
don't have more taste.
Oh,
It's okay.
you guys
Yeah,
hear me?
girl, I have kids too. I can hear past that. I'm good.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, the challenge that I'm currently having is basically um finding an online platform to basically host it on. And then you also talked about creating an avatar. Is it best to do that for like hiring a team as well?
That so to answer your first question about the online platform, so there are so many platforms out there, and that the goal is to find something that meets your needs and for your services. So say for example, you mentioned you have online sewing and fashion, and the question is, are you trying to get people to buy your fashion? Are you trying to teach people how to do what you do? And so the platform is really determined by what you want your customer to experience. And so that's how you determine which platform is going to be best. So the real thing for you for a platform is to sit down and decide, what do I need for my customer to experience? Not and hear the difference between what do I need for it to do versus what do I need for my customer to experience, right? And I'll give you an example. This morning I was looking at different platforms um for my online course that I'm working on. And there was one platform that I loved because it was user friendly, it was easy for me to use, and it had all the bells and whistles that I wanted on my side. But when I tested it as my avatar, because I went and tested a course thinking like my avatar, and I was like, nope, this is not going to meet my client's needs. This is not going to provide the service that my client wants to have. And so I changed the platform. So the first thing is to ask yourself, what is going to provide the service that my client wants to have? The second thing that you talked about is, for the avatar, is it just for your clients? Is it for who you're hiring? It's both. When you know who your avatar is, you will have a good idea of who they wish to interact with. So I know, for example, on the executive prep side, I know that my clients want to hear a mature, knowledgeable voice on the phone. And even when they're not talking to me, that initial conversation needs to be with someone that has a good grasp of training, executive coaching, organization.
Deetra, I'm sorry, ma'am. Your connection got a little crazy, so we have trouble hearing the last three sentences that you said. I'm sorry. You mind repeating the last three things you said? Oh no, and it looks like it's still a little unstable. Come on, internet. We need you to cooperate. We're almost done. Just hang in there, internet, for like 15 minutes. Oh no.
Hope
Now we're not
we are
hearing.
going to,
Yep, I know.
don't
Oh,
worry.
I know. Everybody just hang in there. It looks like she's probably going to transfer to her phone. But if it makes you feel good, you're frozen in a very cute pose. You are frozen very cute.
Let's see.
Let's
It says
Eh,
connect.
faut bien laver ça, hein.
Oh,
Ok.
okay, let's find your last email. Oh, are we good?
see. It sounds good.
Is that good? It says connected. We are we good?
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. The video is gone. That's fine.
Okay,
It
that's
looks like
perfect.
you're back. You're back. Okay.
All right.
All right.
You shall not, there shall be nothing that gets in the way of you and this information. So the last couple things I said was that avatar is, oh, okay, it's doing it again.
We hear
Um,
you great, unless
okay,
you think it's getting ready to start.
I think it's getting ready to start, so I'm gonna go proactively go ahead and get on there and
Okay.
see, just to have it ready just in case. Um, but so what I was saying was it's in that avatar. Okay, cutting that audio. I'm gonna cut this.
Okay. And all right. Oh, we got to mute one of them.
Yeah, mute the. I'm trying to, but it won't allow me.
Mute the phone.
No, mute the computer.
You got it. Done.
Okay.
Ah, it keeps unmuting it. I don't know.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
I just muted my phone completely, so that way we don't have to even worry about it. All right. Um, So what I was saying was, in that client avatar is both for your client, how you serve them, but also who you hire. So it's very important that you are very clear about what your client needs to hear and interact with, and that will directly determine who you hire on. So your client avatar is very important to who you hire as support. That was the quick and dirty of it, yes. Because I want to make sure we get to these others.
Absolutely. Next up is
Yeah.
Jerome. Let me unmute Jerome. All right, Jerome, would you like to ask your question, sir?
Yes, hello, how you doing? First of all, thank you for the informative information.
Yeah.
Um, so the question that I have, what were some of the potential roadblocks, if any, that you experienced while gravitating your business toward online services, and how did you tackle those challenges?
Oh my gosh, great question, Jerome. So number one, the first one was I was the number one, and all honesty, people say this, and this was so true for me, was I was in my own head. I had this idea that just because everything went virtual, that meant things had to stop. And what I forgot was, as a business owner, I am a salesperson first. Right. And so I forgot that I had to remind my clients, I had to sell them on my ability to do this. And so they need to be sold on your ability to still provide this service virtually. So imagine me going to conference organizers and saying, hey, I can still speak virtually. Let's turn this into a virtual conference. I had to sell it. And so another barrier there was really going out and learning the conference industry. So I had to go and say, okay, what does the conference industry look like? How do I make this a good deal? So I had to learn, okay, what is everything that goes in? I had to show them, listen, you're still saving money. You're saving money because you don't have to pay for a venue, you don't have to do X, you don't have to do Y. And because of that, you can charge significantly less. So, for example, I was the keynote at the Washington State SHRM conference in in Seattle. It changed to a virtual platform. They panicked. And I said, wait a minute, you're going to save close to $1 million because you no longer have to rent out this entire hotel, right? And so learning their industry a little bit. And so getting in their head and figuring out what they're thinking. What are the barriers going on? So the first one was me getting out of my own head, but also getting in their head. And that was a little bit harder than getting out of my own head. Like, what are they thinking? What are their barriers? What are their concerns? What is their blocker? And how do I create a sales pitch that gets them out of I can't do this? And even working with my clients to do some of that. I talked to you about one of the clients she owns a maid service. Okay, how do we convince people that you can still clean your house and I can help you and you should still pay for that, right? So that type of thing was big.
Thank you. That was I'm gonna definitely use some of that for my future endeavors.
Good. Well, good. I keep it going, but always be the thing about it is for you all, like I said, many of you who haven't started, you have the luxury of creating in this era where you have to have this plan in place. So you're already ahead because many people that have established businesses aren't on this call and they are stuck right here. They are at home pulling their hair out trying to figure out how to pivot because they haven't done these foundational things like who is my ideal client? They don't know where their client is. They don't have a client avatar. So they don't even know where to go to begin to even try to find their client online to convince them that they can still continue with their services.
I got one more question. And did you learn okay with marketing and like I'm gonna say effectively marketing anything that you do? Did you read any books or how did you learn how to pick up that characteristic and trait?
Oh my goodness. I am a nerd. I wish I could get my camera on because I am a hardcore nerd. I'm starting my video so you all can see it. Um so I am going to reveal something to you all that few people ever really see. Um but what you're getting a glimpse at is how much of a nerd I am because this is actually my book closet. I have a
Wow.
full on book closet. I am a nerd and it goes to the ceiling all the way to the floor. And there are three full bookshelves in here of books, magazines, articles, white papers, all that stuff. So I am an avid reader. When I tell you I am university tested and industry approved, it is not a joke. I believe that you should have a theoretical basis for what you do, but you should also test that theory in the market.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Jerome, we have lost Nicole. I'm going to check on Nicole. But till we get her back, Anissa, you are next. I'm going to go ahead and unmute Anissa and let you ask your question. All right, Miss Wright, it's all yours.
Okay, hi there. First, I just want to say, of course, thank you. And your smile is so gorgeous. It's like on the camera, it just like brightens up the whole screen. So I just wanted to let you know that. My question is, okay, so you talk about narrowing it down, and attracting a specific audience. My personal business venture is in candle making. So, and everybody loves candles. So, what ways would you think that I could kind of narrow my business down so I'll be able to connect to a more specific audience, even though the candle business is like worldwide, universal, really, and you can pretty much find anybody that likes candles?
So one, so here's a bit idea for you. Write it down, girl. Write this down.
Okay, okay. Oh, you're mute.
Uh,
Okay, there we go.
you can send me a check later, but write this down. One, you can actually do live candle making sessions, right?
Okay.
Listen, see, you heard how you gas, girl. That gas was I feel money coming on, right? You can get an Amazon store, an Amazon affiliate store where you are able to allow people to order their supplies from you. They order from Amazon, but now you get a portion of that money,
Hmm.
right? They're ordering from Amazon. You get a portion of that. All of your clients, class participants go to this class, order their Amazon supplies, and you do live candle making classes. Now, here's the thing. You know, when people do a baking class, you go somewhere to bake, they don't give you their secret ingredient. They don't give the
Right.
secret ingredient. Now, that's where you create your client avatar, your secret ingredient, because all candles are not created equal and every candle user is not the same.
Right.
I in my home, my daughter has asthma. I only want hyperallergenic materials that don't with scents that don't set off her asthma issues. So I want natural products preferably something with CBD to relax everybody in this house.
Mm.
Giles shenanigans are on 5 million, right? So that's very specific. So someone, the Bath and Body Works candle, they can't get me. I'm not their avatar. But on the flip side, my husband's like, "Did you really pay $20 for a candle?" Yes, because that's what CBD is, right? So, and that's the difference between knowing who your avatar is, because knowing your avatar can have you charging premium prices because I'll pay more when you're talking directly to me, right?
Mm.
Guess what? Every Lamborghini is not marketing to everybody. They know who their avatar is. Because you might pay $20,000 for a $30,000 for a Toyota, but I'm not talking to Toyota. I'm talking to Lamborghini audiences, right? So that's what having your avatar does for you. It lets you know how, because the market will tell you how much they'll pay. My avatar knows, hey, this is what my avatar will pay because I know them. I know how much money they make. I know how much money they're willing to spend, and I know how much they're willing to spend on what I'm offering. That's what your avatar will do for you. So know exactly what type of candle your people want.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to get your information so I can send you my check when I get that $1 million.
I'm telling you, girl, when you start doing the candle making class, I'm telling you, the first one is like $5. After that, we're making special candles, girl.
Say less. I'm writing my business plan right now. Thank you.
Lisa and I are going to be talking later this afternoon, but number one, you have to get out of your own head. Get out of your own head. Who would have ever thought that we could do a facial class virtually? But how many see somebody how to do facials? And there were 10 of us online who were able to successfully facials. So it's Jerome. I'm going to hang out with Jerome. He got it on and popping at his house.
Jerome has a party going on over
But yes, you would be surprised. Get out of your own head. We are all in the same situation. So don't make any assumptions about what people can't or won't do right now. We're all flexible and willing to bend and look for new opportunities to learn and do new things. So we'll talk about that later on this afternoon. All right, Nicole was having some internet difficulties, but she is back now. All right, Miss Tool, go ahead and ask your question.
Hello. Um,
Hello.
well, first of all, that was an amazing session and it was super helpful. So thank you so much, Deetra.
You're
Um,
welcome.
so you talked a little bit about like fine tuning your audience. And so one thing that I guess I'm having a trouble on my business is that our product service is an app that anyone can really use. So it incentivizes people to recycle. So whether that be children or teenagers or moms who want to just be more environmentally conscious. So my question is like, how do you figure out who that specific avatar is when it can be everybody technically?
So for you, what you people like in your type of industry, what I call the impact industry. So these are organizations and companies and businesses that are out to have an impact on society. They're not just nonprofits, but they are. I want to have a specific impact around recycling. My question for you is who in the household has the potential to impact that the most? So now I think about my household. So in my household, if you want us to recycle, you need not talk to my husband or my children. You talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be typical for every household. It's going to be that leading lady, that mom, that person that's more has more of decision making power in that area. That's my area. We share duties and stuff like that. But when listen, my husband is throwing it in the trash. That's what my kids will do. However, I am the one that says, no, y'all, we have these bins, plastics go here, glass goes here. So when you're thinking about your avatar, thinking about the person in the household that will have the most impact on the decision to do what you need them to do. And that's how you will base your avatar.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Nicole. Leslie, you're next. Give me 1 second. Leslie, I'm going to unmute you. All right, Leslie, what's your question?
Hello, good afternoon. It was a pleasure to come in, and it was very beneficial. Thank you for your time. But my question was, well, my business, I'm starting it locally. It has been it's in furniture. I'm always in furniture, and that's what I've been doing at the moment. But it has been locally. It has been more in contact with people. But now with COVID happening, it has been affecting our business uh, extremely. So now I've seen it as a way for me to learn different ways for me to make my business more online. And I would say that furniture business is a bit like very there's a lot of competition with
Hmm.
business, and so I just would like to know what are different ways that I could make my business different or unique in the online platform with
So tell me, what do you do with furniture? Are you making furniture, selling furniture, refurbishing furniture? What are you doing with furniture?
selling.
Okay. What's so the thing when you talk about making something unique, the idea is to make your product unique. So for example, when I think of IKEA, I think of simple. I think of simple yet um I want to say chic because I don't think of chic, but simple dorm type items, right? That's unique. So now when it's time for my daughter to go off to college, she's going into her junior year, so she'll be a junior this coming school year. When it's time for her to go to college, IKEA pops in my head, right?
Mhm,
However, when I was told you I completely remodeled my office last weekend, IKEA did not pop in my head.
mhm.
Right? So the idea is to ask yourself, what is unique about the furniture that I'm providing, and who cares about that uniqueness? Right now, with that, what often happens when you do that, you may decide to pivot your business and what you're offering. You may decide, you know what, I do want to go after this dorm crowd because this whole upscale high end crowd is saturated. I don't have the resources to compete in that market, so I'm going to do X, right?
Mhm.
You may decide to pivot, but the first thing to ask is what's unique about what I'm selling and what I'm offering, and who cares about that USP, that unique selling proposition? Who cares about that? And that's where you begin to develop your avatar.
Okay, okay. I totally understand. Thank you.
And then some people do it backwards. Some people do it the other way. They say, you know what? I want to go after this market. So I want to go after the high end market, which means I now need to shift my product. But whatever happens is your product has to fit your avatar. Whether you say, I have a product, now let me see who wants this, or I have an ideal client, let me see what I have to create for them to want it. But either way, it has to be a fit.
Okay, okay. So I would have to work with my avatar in trying to develop the type of specific person who would like to buy my products. For example, at the moment, I would say it's in the middle age realm,
Hmm.
people who seek more better quality in it, not like the IKEA type of visual representation. So I would say that would be my focus on my clients at the moment.
And but now here's so everyone listen to what I'm about to do with Leslie. So Leslie, what you said is very, very important, especially thinking about your avatar. So I even want you to narrow it down some more. So when you say that middle range, now think about, where does my furniture fit? Is it for a small space? Is it for a New York studio apartment, or is it for a, 2000 square foot living room? Um,
Mhm.
what's the comfort like? What's the aesthetic like? Is it modern? Is it antique? And that will start to help you identify where your market is, because if it's this small studio living type of space, then you won't be on a particular group in Facebook, right?
Mhm.
If it's great for office or multifunctional, then you say, okay, this is great multifunctional. So this futon looks like a really, really good sofa. Now you're hitting up the potential home office market because everyone in the home office is like, I need a couch in my office, but I really want to be able to lay down when I want to, right? So when you begin to fine tune what that middle range looks like, identify what do they need? What's functional for them? Do they need it to be functional? What's their spacing like? That's how you really fine tune that avatar.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. We have a question from Neil and then Fung, and we are winding down. Last call for questions. Last call. All right, Neil, it's all you, sir.
Hey, Neil. Don't be scared.
Neil, where'd you go? All right, we will pause. Oh, you're unmuted already. Neil? Okay, Neil, we'll come back to you. I'm going to go ahead to Fung and we'll come back to you as soon as Fung asks her question. All right, Miss Tran, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you for the presentation. I would like to ask more about, how to, get your first client because my ideal avatar, I've been basing that off of my friend. So, like what she wants and where she hangs out and whatnot, but I'm not sure about, getting that first person to buy my service. And my service is like your example, I'm sort of a personal trainer and health coach.
So, the best way to get your first client is to offer it for free, right? You are in a business where people want to see that you can deliver results. So if your friend is if your friend is your avatar, get your friend, get her on whatever plan you can, and tell her, look, friend, I'm going to do this for free for 3 months, but I am requiring that you do certain things. Certain things includes taking a picture, before and after pictures, sticking to a plan, and work your plan with her and follow her. Now, here's what you do when I say follow her. You make this essentially a series on whatever platform you identify people like her will be on. So if people like her on TikTok, you do a full TikTok series following her from day to day, from beginning to end, where you do weekly check-ins, you do little clips of workout videos, you do little clips of food prep that you're doing with her, and you do that over a series of time. And then here's the deal, that may be for a month, 2 months, 3 months. At some point in that process, when you start to get a following, you start dropping, hey, discount on services, join our workout plan. This is going to be an online workout, and start inviting people. And in that process, you're dropping, here's a discount if you want to be the next client. Here's an opportunity to work with me. Always use the word opportunity, not chance, opportunity, because there's neuroscience. I don't want to geek y'all out because I am a geek. Y'all saw the book closet, but there's neuroscience in the words that we use. And so opportunity says this is something that's good for me. Chance means I'm gambling, right? So here's an opportunity to work with me to get the same results. But the reason your friend has to be committed is because she's your marketing, she's your commercial. You're relying on her results. Her not doing the sticking to the plan and getting results will be like McDonald's doing a commercial with soggy French fries, right? So you need for her to stick to the plan. So your first client is typically always a free or an extremely discounted client so that you can show results, especially in the personal training and workout and dietitian field.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we were having trouble with Neil. I'm going to try one more time to see if we can hear him. If not, he has typed this question. Neil, let's see, can we hear
Hello.
you?
Can you
There we
guys?
go.
Awesome.
Okay.
So, how you doing, Miss Deethra?
I'm doing well. How are you with your radio voice?
I'm good. I'm too blessed to be stressed, you know? Just gotta enjoy the best of every day. So I want to say thank you, first and foremost, to you and Miss Bracy. And my question was, once we discover our avatar and that range, what would you say is the best way of establishing the initiation that could build the relationship between our brand and service to creating a personal connection with that client that falls within that avatar range.
So, okay, there we go. It's phenomenal question. So once you find out who that avatar is, remember number 3 on your homework was to find out who are the companies and organizations that service that client. You start following those people because what you want to start doing is mirroring their actions. So once you find out who they are, who's servicing them, start to stalk. There, like I told you with the book and the beat, I started stalking Sephora, what's the other one, starts with a U, all Mac, all of those. I started following the Lip Bar, Jovia's Place, all of that. I started to follow and started to mirror their actions, and I saw what they were doing, how they were marketing, and I was able to do something very similar. I saw their imaging, I saw their lighting, I saw their angles, I saw what they showed, and I started to mirror some of that because I realized, listen, I don't have, not I don't have to, I don't have $1 million marketing budget. I just don't. So let me look at the people who've already spent $1 million. Both of us don't need to spend $1 million. If you've already spent it, I could just use what you've learned, right? So once you do that, start making those connections. And once you make those connections, start using those hashtags because people follow those hashtags, and look at your base. Who do I already know? I already know a group of women who are like, I need to do makeup. Now I have to be my best advertisement. Like Fung was saying, she's in that workout space. Listen, Fung can't be an overweight, high blood pressure, diabetic personal trainer. You have to be your best advertisement. I can't jump. Imagine if I was saying, y'all, I'm over. I have this thing where I do these makeup classes and I came on here looking a hot mess, right? So you have to start looking like that. So when you're out connecting with the people that you already know, they see a difference. They see it. My best advertising when I talked to companies about career development was the fact that I personally was a director of a department responsible for 20,000 people by the time I was 27. I absolutely can convince you I know how to manage a career, right? So be that and start having the social proof, social branding to support when you're reaching out, but reach out to your own circle first, and your circle starts to expand. Your circle starts to tell other people, hey, I know this person who does X. I know this person who does X, and it's a ripple in the pool. So follow, stalk who has your who's following your ideal client, mirror what they're doing, and then start with your inner circle and have it ripple out. And it's a lot. I saw somebody say, how do we compartmentalize? I think it was Q, I think said that. That's why your plan is so important. This is a lot of information and it can be overwhelming. That's why this is a 4-week process, y'all. 4 weeks. I'm telling you, come for all 4 weeks and do the homework because what I'm giving you is a plan. Once you have this plan, you put it onto a calendar. And from that calendar, you give yourself due dates and you work this out. So, say, for example, this week you identify your avatar, who those companies are. Next week, we're start talking about, okay, I need you to follow them and see what they're doing. The week after that, start to mirror your audience and who you're attacking after that. The week after that, now you design a campaign to let your inner circle know what you're doing and invite them to share. The third week after that is start doing your own videos, right? So the first part is getting your plan. Once you have that plan, you put that plan on top of a calendar. So get the foundation first.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
You, Neil. And Deidre, you could not have teed that up any better. I took a look at the time. It is 2:44. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It absolutely sounds like there is no doubt that this absolutely was timely and worth it. I just want to reiterate, as you just mentioned, this is a 4-part series We are going for 4 consecutive Wednesdays, next Wednesday, and then the following 2 Wednesdays after that. Same bat time, same bat channel. Please go ahead and register online so we can see you next week. And everyone has their homework. I will send the homework. I will grab that slide and send it to everyone via email so you can be prepared for next week. Make sure that you go ahead and register. You're only going to get out of this what you put into it. That's what I tell people all the time, and this is no exception. You're only going to get out of it what you put into it. So please, hopefully, you will be able to join us for the remaining 3 sessions in this series and take advantage of how to take your business online. Um, Deetra, did you have anything else that you'd like to leave with the students, ma'am?
Nope, just do your homework. I'll see you because I don't have to give the wonderful wrap up and the story and the oh, it's so great into the last one. So just do your homework.
Do your homework. We'll see you guys here next Wednesday. Thank you so much, teacher. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. And if you guys appreciate, I'm not even going to tell you what the price tag on a series like this would be, but just know you are blessed and highly favored, everybody.
Hi.
You can show your appreciation by doing the homework and by putting your time in. That is your compensation for this. So, all right, everyone, I'm going to let you all go. Have a wonderful afternoon. Stay safe, be well, stay home so that we can get back to life as quickly as possible. I appreciate everyone, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Take care, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye bye.